Yo, this is Cardboard.Capitan, and you know, Magic has been very hit or miss with their midweek madness events, and this one in particular, this is a release to celebrate the release of the Duskmourn Alchemy, and they put together this enchantment deck. Now, enchantments, in they've been pretty strong in the format with the overlords. But this deck in particular, it feels overpowered. The opponent's playing the Bat deck, and the Bat has cards that gain life and provide benefits from gaining life. So this golden sidekick, it can perpetually increase the power and toughness of a random creature card in hand. So that's something I want to get rid of immediately because bad decks, they gain life usually every turn. So I've got a lot of good creatures now. I've got Wing Bright Thief, and it's a new card from Duskmourn Alchemy. And what it does, you can look into the opponent's hand and pick a card from it, and it perpetually gains when he casts a spell. Each opponent draws a card and gains 3 life. I think the value there is that you have an idea of the opponent's game plan. I figured, okay, the opponent's likely gonna banish one of the cards in play, and there you go. So I'm able to draw a card and uh, gain 3 life from it. And surprisingly, the opponent doesn't remove the banishing light. And then again, I mean, I could block with the card that gets revealed or returned, removing banishing light. So as far as I know, the goal of the bat deck is to have a bunch of life gain. That's gonna power up the golden sidekick and turn those small creatures of the deck into large powerhouses. Now, there's also cards such as Sanguine Soothsayer that can turn that life gain into damage. And I feel like the game plan of the white and black deck is a bit too spread out. So in other words, it doesn't really master anything. Uh, Rather, it has a like a spread out game plan. Whereas the enchantment deck, the idea is to get a lot of these enchantments out and use the eerie mechanic to get these effects. So I have 2 optimistic scavengers, and now whenever a enchantment comes into play, I can put 2+1/+1 counters due to their eerie effect. Now I don't know if the how much black and white removal the opponent's deck plays. I didn't really play too many decks beside the enchantment, but I do. So I'm gonna go with Lurker in the Deep here, and when it enters or attacks, it seeks a card, and you can duplicate a copy of that seeked card. Um, and what I seeked out is the Endless Corridor. That's card I'm more interested in than Lurker in the Deep, because Endless Corridor, one of the sides of the room lets you conjure a copy of it into your hand. So you basically have endless copies of enchantments to play. And now that I think about it, I was thinking if there was a continuous way of producing white creature tokens, because there's another card that gives your enchantment spells convoke. But anyway, opponent swings in, gains some life. Now Gremlin Tamer, that's definitely a card I want to get out. Okay, so Gremlin Tamer, that's gonna allow me to start producing 1/1 Gremlin tokens, I believe. Yeah, Gremlin tokens, but unfortunately they're red. So I actually want to duplicate the Gremlin Tamer. I'm thinking real hard about this, huh? But I think Mirror Room is the best play here because opponents tapped out. I know what they have in hand, and there's no chance of removing the Gremlin Tamer before Mirror Room resolves. So yeah, the Glimmer token, that 4/4, is now able to block the rat. And he hijacked my Processionist, which is unfortunate. Okay. So I get yet another Gremlin Tamer, and this is where the token production gets a bit ridiculous. So yeah, that Processionist, that gives my enchantment spells Convoke. So yeah, a whole bunch of eerie triggers. Yeah, so if the Gremlin Tamer didn't produce red creatures and produce a white creatures, you can see there's an easy loop here you could get going. But this is why I think the white enchantment was far stronger than all the other decks. And while it's not endless, you you do get a lot of creatures from this convoke ability. Yeah. So yeah, now that I think about it, there is an endless loop you can do because there's a otter from Bloombarrow, I believe it's called Valley Wave Caller. Anyway, what it does, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you untap birds, otters, and rats, I believe. And with this convoke, so you have the Mothlight Processionist, the Root Caller, and then you have that Endless Corridor. And what you can do... No, you need a bird? Yeah, you need a white bird, too. And... you tap the bird, and... I guess the otter, right? And then you can cast Endless Corridor there. That counts as an enchantment coming into play. It counts as a non-creature, so your creature is untapped, and you keep doing that over and over. And then you have, say, someone with Eerie, like the Gremlin Tamer, or the +1/+1 Eerie creature. That's an infinite combo. I'm gonna have to try that out. Yeah, but even though I've got 0 cards in hand, I can unlock the corridor and get a copy, so... Yeah, I think my goal here is just to win in one turn. And what I need to start doing is start using the Anthem effect of the Solitary Studies. So yeah, now those gremlins are much scarier as 4/1s. I don't know. I don't know. This is lethal, maybe? Yeah, I mean, I figured even if I don't attack, I do have a big Enduring Innocence, and that has lifelink. Oh yeah. And at this point, I'm sure many players would just give up, but it's pretty cool. Opponents just letting me go off, right? So props to the opponent. Um, but yeah, this is swinging in with about 15 5/1s. I'm getting that Lurker in the Deep to come out. And, I think I'm gonna have to try white blue enchantments Just a little bit different than this deck, because, some cards I wouldn't run. And even if the opponent blocks with all the creatures and they still lose, they still have to deal with those 15 5/1 gremlin tokens. I've got 16 unhasted. Or if you're, I think the technical word is summoning sickness, right? But anyway, that's game. This deck is degenerate. Very imbalanced midweek Madness event, but you know, it's a good way to showcase the powers and the weaknesses of the deck. And with that said, thanks for watching. You can find me on X under the username Cardboard.Capitan. You can also find me on Maxfield under the username Cardboard.Capitan. I will see you next time.